Okay, we're starting on our Mobility Wednesdays. So I think you can see me pretty well here. See my bar? So, of course, I have a light up here with a fan, so you don't want to hit that. So what we're going to do is because this is Mobility Wednesday, I hope you're hearing me okay. I want to make sure that my media control is all the way up. Yep, it's all the way up. All right. So just make sure your devices are all volume up because I'm still working on this volume control thing. So I've got my bar here, correct? I'm going to step forward and then I'm going to step this way. See that? So I've got this right here, the bar. I'm going to step back. I'm going to step to the side. Then I'm going to go straight to the other side. So on Mobility Wednesdays, a lot of times we'll move from one move to the next move. We don't do a lot of repetition because I'm trying to get you into different ranges of motion. Okay, so we're just getting warmed up. One of the best ways I know to get warmed up is to do a little semi-squat. See that? So we're going to combine the move I just did with a semi-squat. And whenever I do the squat and I get into this position, I'm going to pretend that I'm sitting my rear end onto a high bench. That's how you do a semi-squat. Okay? See that? Drop your shoulders, semi-squat. Then you come right here and you go behind and behind. Now I'm not going fast. And I'm going to step side. And then I'm going to step behind again. And then I'm going to step side. And then I'm going to step behind. Now, every time I do those moves, see, I'm resetting. That's what you need to understand and you need to hear when you're coming in here, joining me today on this workout. Whenever I go to the side, see, I reset. Anytime I move my leg in any direction, I reset my core. I drop my shoulders. I do the high hip hinge or the high squat, but I drop my shoulders and I say rib cage up and I tuck in my chin, okay? And I don't even have to say pull in your belly button because I know all of you are pulling in your belly button because you are not going to be sluggy today, correct? Okay. See, I have this bar here that I'm hanging on to. I just stepped side and then I'm going to step behind. Okay, so now I'm in a split stance. And every time I do what? Whenever I move my legs, every time, see, even though I don't say, drop your shoulders, rib cage up, tuck in your chin, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. See, if I don't say that, that's what I'm doing on these little motions that I'm getting us warmed up with. Now I'm going to start this. See, I'm going to come down and I'm going to turn. I'm going to go to the side. And then I'm going to come down and I'm doing my split stance. Then I'm going to come to neutral. Okay? Then I'm going to go side and I'm going to do my little rowboat thing. I'm going to go back. So now I'm in a split stance. So every time I move my leg, what am I doing? Even though I don't say I'm doing it. I'm repositioning, I'm realigning, okay? Because in your mobility through your day, motion through your day, you need to stop and realign. See, that's just something I constantly do because I know how important it is, okay? So now I'm going to go push out and turn. Bring it in. Push out and turn. And see, I'm still doing that little tiny high hip hinge. Okay, why is this move so important in getting you warmed up? Because when I go into this, I'm pushing into my heels. So I'm rocking from my midfoot toe to my heels. So that's ankle involvement. I'm softening or bending slightly my knees. I'm hip hinging big time, but I'm not going super deep. But when I go even this much, see, this starts up a chain reaction of contracting through my back extensors, through my core. Then if I really say rib cage up, shoulders down, I am doing a really good warm up. Okay, so now I'm rolling it all together. I'm stepping wide, doing that little turn. Then I'm going back and I'm turning that bar like that. Then I'm right up and down. See that? So horizontal to vertical. Now I'm right here. Step wide. Do that little dip. Step behind and turn. So one hand is on top with one leg. The other hand is on top with the other leg. So it stands to reason that these combined moves that I went through one by one is a really good way to get on board with your mobility Wednesday. Let me ask you a question. When you did this right here, see my hands on top? Many of you took your joint and you pulled it out and up. I would be standing with you right now, putting my hands on both your shoulders, because I don't want one to be lower than the other, but I do want them down. I call it loading your shoulders, load them, drop them down, brace. Very important. Okay, one more round of this and we're ready to get going. All right, so I'm going to go side, dip, go behind with the leg, turn, go vertical with your bar. And I'm making those little changes every time. So go wide with the other leg, dip in, go behind with your leg, and that arm is, the other arm, opposite arm is up, okay? So right now, drop your shoulders. I know, it's just something you have to keep remembering. Take a big deep breath, and you're really doing good to get yourself awake. Okay, step wide, turn your toe, okay? So we're gonna go through it's called the Walker's Daily Dozen. We've already done several. Now we're gonna turn wide. We've already done the beginning ones, okay? Then I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna turn and go wide. So if you're still just a little bit sore, primarily in your quads, because we really worked them on Monday, you don't want to work them hard today. You want to work them, but not super hard, okay? Now, once I've done the turning, I've already done the high hip hinging, right? I've already done the warrior type pose. See that? Boom. See? Boom. Yeah. Then I'm going to do a reach. So how am I going to do this reach? I'm going to act like I'm walking. See this? I'm going to take my bar and I'm going to keep my toe grounded. Don't take your toe off. Stay level. And you're going to take your bar and you're going to reach it out. You're going to reach it out with one hand and act like you're going to put it down and then come back up. Okay? Do not do this fast, number one. Number two, have a chair next to you. All right? So we're doing, it's called the Walker's Daily Dozen. This is just stuff to do every day for your mobility. Now I'm going to switch my legs. I'm going to act like I'm walking. So now I've taken a step with the opposite leg, right? My toe is still down. My chair is here if I need it. But I'm going to act like I'm trying to put this stick, keep my chin tucked, and I have to bend way down here. See, to act like I'm going to put it on the ground, and then I come back up. Okay? Then I bring it back. All right? So that's like a bend and reach type motion. All right? Then I'm going to step right here. I got my bar in place. And you can see I'm barefooted. So right now, if you're standing on a very narrow, pretend you're standing on a very narrow diving board, okay? I'm saying diving board, like you're diving into something, okay, okay? So see how I'm rocking and rolling? And then I'm gonna take my other foot and I'm just gonna stay on that diving board, and I've got my bar right here. I'm just gonna do a heel toe, heel toe, heel over toe, heel over toe, one or two, and then I'm gonna come back. And so some of you out there may be saying, oh, well, this is not so hard. Number one, align yourself. What does that mean? That means your knees need to be soft, not locked. Because when somebody gets in this position and you start losing balance, you know what you do? You lock your knees, and then that's going to really send you over. So don't lock them. Keep them soft. And when you're in this little tiny, very small crouch position with your shoulders down, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, trying to hold your balance with your bar right here, and you're just passing through this kind of heel to toe walking. If you want to make it more challenging, stay in your crouch, number one. Line yourself up, number two. Some of you are really overleaning. Pull yourself back. When you're staying in this little bit of a crouch position and you're trying to do that heel over toe, you're touching your heel to your toe, that is pretty challenging, okay? If you want to make it more challenging, do 2 or 3 heel toe touches and close one eye, okay? Now, if you're not into doing the closed eye thing, you do this whole motion while you're turning your bar to one side, then you turn your bar and you go to the other side and you stay on that line, on that diving board. Okie dokie, drop your shoulders, in with the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you're only doing 2 or 3 steps. And you're going to have to catch yourself constantly. So some of you may visit this kind of a move, and then you may hit it just a couple of seconds, and then you're on to the next thing. I would encourage you to do the one eye closed while you do this, or the bar swing. See, I'm swinging the bar. See that? See that? Stay down there. Once you've finished, anywhere from at least a minute to 3 to maybe 5 minutes doing this diving board walk, wow, you're gonna be feeling that. In a warm up, using your joints gently, that's what I want you to understand about Wednesdays. Okay, ready? Those of you who do not want to get down on the floor, you're going to go off of your chair. You can do every single thing using the chair as your platform, but keep your line up going, okay, dokie? So those of us who are going to go ahead and get in the floor, I'm going to get in the floor without the use of my chair. Some of you may elect to get into the floor with your chair. You get to choose, or don't use your chair, that's fine too. But just by going into this move to get down into the floor and back up, let me tell you, if you did this pretty much every day, but at least every other day, it would help your mobility so much. Number one, and it would help your confidence so much. So I'm going to go ahead and do my move. I'm just going to do a couple moves right now, and then we'll be up and then we'll be back down probably. Okay, so here I am in the floor. I'm going to tighten in my tummy, keep my chin tucked, pick which hand you're going to bring off the floor. That's number one. If you're down here and it really bothers your wrists, go into a fist. Okay, that will keep your wrists neutral. Tightening your tummy, drop your shoulders, pick which hand's going to come off the ground, just pick it up. Then take the opposite leg and point back with it. Now you notice I'm not pointing or bringing my hand up super high because I want you to keep it close here in case you need to put it down to keep your balance. Okay, so I'm going to go point, flex, point, flex. I'm going to keep my tummy in super tight. My elbow that's holding me is going to be soft. My shoulder is down. My hand is off the floor. If you want to point, well, God bless you. Go ahead and point. But you can keep it right here is the point. Okay? I didn't mean to be redundant there, but it is the point. Okay. Now I'm going to bring the other hand up. So see, I'm going to do one at a time. I'm not going to take my leg up and then my hand up. Be on your fist if your wrist bothers you, okay? So take your hand off the floor, tight tummy, shoulders down, bring the other leg up and point, and flex, and point, and flex. Keep your chin tucked, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. And again, if you're somebody out there that wants to go ahead and put your hand all the way out, well, do that. You don't have to, but what I'd like to encourage you to do is at least come up to one finger or no hand and have it close in case you need the support, okay? Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Bring it in, bring it in. Now you're going to go right down to your elbows. Okay, and again, be very mindful about what you're doing with your shoulders. Okay, they need to stay nice and in. Now I'm going to bring my forehead right down here onto my hands that I've folded in the floor. I'm going to come right down there. So see, I can do every bit of this standing at the chair. Okay, so once I've done this, now I'm going to take one leg out, then the other leg, and then I'm going to let my hips drop right into the floor. Okie dokie. Okay, are you ready? So in this position with my elbows down, my shoulders down, my rib cage up, I keep pulling my rib cage up. I bring my hips up, and now I'm on my knees. And some of you, you may want to just hang out here on your knees. That's perfectly fine. Because even by doing this, you're putting great workload, training into your core. So go learn to do the plank, which is what we're going into, in stages, okay? Don't avoid this move. You can do this from the chair, or you can do it from the floor, you can do it from the bed. Shoulders down, elbows down, pull the belly button in, lift the hips, okay? And some of you, again, might want to hang out here and see if you can hang out here for 15 seconds from your knees. If you want to go ahead and pull your knees, then go ahead and challenge yourself to the knee up position. So you're on your toes and you're on your elbows. Go lay down. My dogs are needing to do this plank. Okay, hang on. Hang out there with me for just a second. Just hang on. Now put your knees down. Now come down. Now roll to the side. Right here. I'm on my elbow. See that? My shoulder is in, nice and safe. See that? I'm going to put my hand right here on the outside of my knee. And I'm going to push down gently with my hand as I lift against this. Okay, I'm only going to do a couple. This is called a little clam move. Okay, so you're using structures on the outside and inside of your hip in order to do this motion. All right, and just rest your hand here. You don't have to push hard, just rest your hand here. But what you don't want to do in this position when you're doing these little clammy moves is you don't want to roll back and open your leg because you're rolling back. You want to stay forward with your hip and then come in and up, in and down, in and down. Breath, breath. See, I'm just resting my hand here. Hi, Mac. You need to go lay down. Go lay down, Mac. He wants to be right here in my face. They can't see. Kids and dogs. Keep going. Breath, breath, breath. Okay. Bring your feet right here. So I'm right here, right here. See how I'm pointing I'm dorsiflexing my toes up and then pointing, okay? So that move right there, if for no other reason today, I want to impress upon you the importance of your ankle and your foot being able to do a full range of rotations, okay? Plantar flex, dorsiflex. See that? Okay. So just hang out here for a minute and do this. Now, some of you are going to be doing this and you're going to have a really hard time sitting up. If that's the case, number one, you should be doing all of this from the chair. You can do dorsiflexion, plantar flexion sitting at the chair with one leg straight. So if I keep one leg straight and I bend one leg, that's a way to modify. That's perfectly good, okay? The other way is both legs, just a little bit bent. What is not acceptable in this move is to round your back, okay? So if you can open at the hip a little bit and bring your knees up a little bit, that's okay. That's acceptable. What's not acceptable is to flex your back, okay? So I hope you're using 1, 2, or 3 of these modifications that are good modifications, all right? Big breath, big breath, big breath. Now I'm gonna go simply to the other side. So I'm right here on my other side, my elbow's down, my shoulder is in, and I'm gonna put my hand right here on top of my knee. Got it? My tummy's in nice and tight, okay? And I'm just gonna do that little clam motion. And you notice my feet, almost my ankle wants to almost stay down, okay? Mac, go lay down. Okay. Mac is having a fit today for some reason. He's insecure. Okay, take a big breath. Keep your shoulders down. And you see, I'm not pushing really. I'm just resting my hand here. I am telling you that if you're doing this little clam motion correctly, meaning you're not rolling back, see, you're not rolling in order to get it up. If you're staying forward, even a couple of these, you will start feeling it through your adductors and your abductors, okay? And it's working powerfully right here, all right? Keep your shoulder down. Take a big breath. Come lay down, Mac. Come on. And keep it going. Couple more. Just a rotation, not like a hard set or anything like that. I just want you to be mobile. And some of you desperately need to get this one. You need to put this one in your back pocket, especially if you want to be active and you're going to do, any kind of sports. I'm talking golf, I'm talking bowling, I'm talking skiing, all of this kind of stuff. You need to put this little move in your back pocket to keep those hips in balance, Okay, so I did both sides. Take a big breath. Big breath. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to open, and I could be doing this on my chair. See, I could sit at the edge, lean back, no problem. Okay, and I'm just going to bring one leg in, and then I'm going to just hang out here, put one leg down, and just bring it in here. So it's a mobility move. All right, get ready. So if you're on the chair, you just roll back until you're touching the back of your chair with your shoulders, okay? And you hang out there. If you're in the floor with me, you've got your knee up here. It's a little bit bent if you need to, but my back is extended, and then I'm going to just roll my shoulders and come right on down to the floor, okay? I'm going to turn. I'm going to put one shoulder is going to try to line up with my chin, and I'm pulling that leg in gently, and then I do plantar dorsi flexion with my foot. So I'm doing what's called an L stretch, okay? Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, okay? Now, to come up, you can go forward like this, but if you have a delicate back, I would suggest you not try to pull yourself up that way. You bring your leg in, you roll like that, and you come up, and you get ready to do it on the other side. I hope that you're doing these modifications. Many of you should not try to muscle yourself up from a floor position, okay? So now this leg. So here I am. If I were sitting on the chair, I'd be sitting at the edge. I would open myself back, keep my chin tucked till I touch the chair. Then I'd bring my knee in, okay? Say rib cage up. I'd bring that leg up. I'd be pointing, flexing. Keep it a little bit bent if you need to. That's okay. What is not okay in this position is to round your lower back here. Not right now, okay? So it's a point flex, point flex, point flex. Yeah, and then I'm going to go ahead and let myself down. Turn my head and bring my chin over my shoulder as I pull my leg in toward my body. Keep your knees soft if you need to. That's perfectly fine. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Point, flex, point, flex. Yeah, get a lot of that pointing and flexing going today. Breath, 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 breath. Okay, your habit would be generally to just pull yourself up. Now, yeah, I could come up that way, but I want most of you who I know have delicate backs to roll to the side. And then you're ready to get up. See? So that works really well. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to go back to the same position that I was in when we started this floor session, which was a modified plank, which was on my elbows, correct? So now I'm going to go up as if I'm going to do a straight arm regular plank, okay? Big breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Soften my elbows. Go onto my fist if I need to. Otherwise, my tummy is super tight. I'm going to take one leg out. Take a big breath. I have one knee down now, one toe, and my hands. Now, some of you may be on your plank. Great. Stay on there and try to hit 2 minutes. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my other toe back. And for those of you who are doing modified, keep one knee down. Bring it up just gently. And just a few seconds. See? Just a few seconds. Then go to the other one. Come up just a few seconds. See that? Hold up there just a few seconds. Those of you who are going for the minute or two, you're in your plank. Don't drop your head and don't push your butt up. Okay? Stay into a plank. Now squeeze your butt. Take a big deep breath. Bring your knees down and then come back down with your hips to your heels. You want to go as low as you feel you can. And then you go back and revisit it. And let's say it was really hurting your wrist. Then put your fist down. Take one leg back. Drop your shoulders. Get lined up. Okay, get ready. Push on your toes. And you have one knee in. You have one leg back. And then you can bring both knees up. And then bring the other knee down if you need to rest. And then come back. This one is pretty important move. It can really help you with your strength in your core. Now you see what I did? I just brought my rear end up, keep my knees bent, walk myself back to my feet with my hands. Then I'm going to equalize for a little bit. Right here, I'm going to equalize. See that? Then I'm going to come back up. I'm going to take a big deep breath. And instead of turning now, I'm going to show you a very important little fact when you're doing what's called touching your toes. You're going to bend your knee, okay? You're going to slide your hand right down the knee that's bent down that one. Okie dokie. The other one's going to stay kind of straight. You're going to push your butt back. You're going to slide your hand all the way down. And then you're going to look up to this hand that's way up. So I got a straight leg. I got a little bit of a soft leg. I'm opening and turning, pressing up, looking up with my chin. Breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Then I'm going to come down. I'm going to put my my elbows on top of my knees. I'm going to equalize. I'm going to come up. So come all the way up. Some people will just go straight to the other side. I would like for you to come all the way up. Take a big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Always have your chair where you can grab it if you need it. Okie dokie. So here I am, wide. I'm going to keep this leg pretty straight. This leg is going to bend. And I'm going to follow my hand right down the side here with this knee just a little bit bent. This one is a little soft. Now I'm going to straighten that. Now my hand is all the way down at my ankle, and I'm going to turn, and I'm going to look up where my fingertips are. So I'm really pushing and pulling to look up. Make sure you don't get disoriented here, okay? And because when you start rocking and rolling, you could lose your balance here. Breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Then I'm going to bring this down, put my hands back, my elbows back on top of my knees, and I'm going to come up, 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 okay? Shoulders are down, big breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I want to know how you're coming with the nose breathing. Why am I encouraging you to do that? There's whole bunches of studies and papers and everything written on nose breathing. Okay, while I'm explaining this, we're going to go just like this. We're going to do heel over toe. Yes, if you can make it touch, great. If you cannot, if you're just rocking and rolling on that, then you need to get yourself next to the chair so that you can actually lean into the chair a little bit. I want you to keep your hands free, okay? So if you're rocking and rolling way too much, come next to the chair or a wall. That's fine too, okay? Soften your knees and then take your hands and just go like this. See this? Yeah. Keep your knees very soft. Shoulders are down. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And as you do this pumping action and you bring your hand just up to the eye level, okay? Bring your elbow back, keep your knees soft. All the time you're going to keep trying to lock your legs. That is just something that we can always keep trying to do, but you need to train yourself to keep your knees soft because that's going to help you get your balance. Okay, I want you to notice something. As you're doing this, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, keep your knees soft. Say rib cage up. Okay, keep going. We're fixing to switch our leg position. You can't see mine because my dogs are in the way. Don't throw your elbow. Some of you are throwing your elbow when you're doing this pumping action. You don't even realize it. You want to keep your elbows close, close, close to your waist. Okay? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Switch your leg position. Your heel should be touching your toe. If you cannot do that, then of course, take a wider stance, but not too much, okay? Just take a wider stance, but you're still pretty narrow, so you're not even out here. This is a normal stride. It's, you know, it's about a foot in between. Bring your heel to your toe. Stay on the diving board. If that's really wonky for you, one of two things. Either widen your base a little, but still keep your heel close to your toe, or make so that you touch a shoulder or a hip or something or your knee to a chair or a wall, okay? So I'm going to step out and do this without touching. Then I'm going to make a fist. I'm going to say rib cage up. I'm going to soften my knees in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I'm going to do this little arm pump. And it's going to push you. You're going to be pulling back and forth. Try to stay on that diving board. Don't throw your elbow. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And bring it down. Nice. Bring those hands right out here. And you can either take a wide stance here like this, or you can go ahead and keep challenging yourself with the heel to toe stance. This is just a tandem walk. You've heard of this. I'm sure you've heard of this. Anytime you see a fitness program to help keep from falling, you're going to see this move, okay? It's a tandem walk. Some of you may know it as a sobriety test. I won't name names. But see, you can help yourself. You can train for that. So I'm doing a tandem stance. You don't have to. You can do a wide stance. Keep your shoulders down. And this is the one move today that I am going to try to go for about 30 repetitions. Because I have a lot of people out there with shoulder issues that emanate from injuries, old injuries, or poor posture, okay? If you tend to have a forward head, this will get your attention, okay? It will be a challenge. You will start feeling it when you start approaching 30 repetitions. So I'm going to continue to stay in a tandem stance. And I may change in the middle from one foot being the lead to the other foot being the lead. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I think I'm into the last 10. Okay, stay with me. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Knees are soft. Drop your shoulders. Say rib cage up. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your hands and give yourself a big hug. See, that's easy. Step out. Drop your shoulders. Drop your chin. Push your upper back or your shoulders. Now you round that, but you don't round your lower back. Big breath into the nose, out through the mouth. Drop your shoulders. Put your hands down. So we did that first one with our thumbs facing forward, palms down, right? Do a little pendulum swing and get ready for the next one, because that's going to be palm up. All right. Many of you who have shoulder issues, if you will take the time, review some of my videos, my YouTube thingies, recordings, they're called recordings. Align yourself. Don't take all this time and effort to do this kind of a move and you still aren't lined up. So now, here we go. You can take a wide stance or a wider stance, or you can go and bend one knee. And those of you who want a little bit more advanced move, while we do these next 30 with our palm up, you can be on a toe and just bring knee up so that your toe is not on the ground. And then if you need to switch, switch, okay? So you can do that, or you can just stand here like this. See, put all your effort into lining yourself up and start those repetitions, okay? Now, notice, here's what I want you to notice. I don't know if you're seeing this. I am not bending my elbows here, not even a little. Now, the only ones I would encourage that you might need to bend them and drop your shoulders down is somebody who is recovering from a shoulder injury. But this is one of the first ones to get to where you're fully lined up and you're doing it with your whole shoulder girdle. So see, I'm not just sitting here going like this. That's the point. You're out here, you're coming up with your shoulders, down and back with your shoulders, and then forward and up, and then down and back. See, it's a whole shoulder girdle thing. And then if you want to, of course, bend your knee and take your knee up so that you're on one foot and you're doing this little shoulder, whole shoulder. I notice I didn't call it an arm rotation. It's a shoulder rotation. Big breath. Yeah, hang out there. Hang out there. And this is a really good thing to do, actually, to do the one-legged standing challenges, okay? Make sure your knees are soft. Don't lock them. Drop your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, let's say we're at the last set. Okay, let's just start counting them. Okay, let's say that's 8. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring them down. Okay, I know you loved it, didn't you? Okay, we're gonna do our back extensions. And today I did not do the lay down on the floor back extensions, but I'm gonna start doing them regularly. And I'll even keynote, put it in the leading thing where when I post it online. Extend yourself, I'll say. So let's start doing it. So I can use a pole, or I can use a chair, but I'll turn it around if I'm going to use the chair, and I'll put my hands here, or let's say I'm going to do the pole. Well, you can do it with a pole. Here's the deal. You do not squeeze your butt tight right now. You do the opposite. You release it, okay? You get a shoulder width stance. You soften your knees. Do not squeeze your butt. Push down on the pole, and your hips want to go toward the pole as your shoulders go back. Tuck your chin, tuck your shoulders, and really push forward with your hips into the pole or into a chair. So the reason I wanted to show you a pole is who knows, you might be out hiking or something and your back starts tightening up. Okay? Don't wait. Stop, grab a walking stick, a tree, a bench, and release your butt, and then push your hips toward the pole while you push down. Okay? So you're opening up all these flexors here. Okay? Don't squeeze your butt. And you're going to stay in this for a little bit. All right? Keep your knees soft. Okay? Now, when I come out of it, my knees are soft, but I rotate the hip back to come out of it. Okay? Now you take that pole and you do the same extension. You can do it at the chair if you need to, or just right here. And you're going to turn first. And then you push that hip forward. Okay? This little turn of your hands. Wow. Sometimes it's the only thing you need to do in order to balance out a tight muscle on one side or the other. Okay? So here I am, a wide stance, shoulders down. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. I want to soften my knees. Do not tighten your butt. Release it. Push your hips forward and then turn. So as you're pushing forward, once you're out there, then turn and bring these hands. Keep them low and turn. Keep my hips forward, pushing. See, I'm pushing, pushing, pushing. Drop your shoulders in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then I hip hinge. I come to the center and I come back up. Okay? Now I'm going to turn. And I'm going to put my little pad. If you have a pad or a pillow, just put it in the floor. And I'm going to sit. All right? I got my bar if I need it. It's going to be right here. Okay? And do you see what I just did? I leaned forward and I put my bar down. Okay? Some of you did this and you didn't do the move I just did. What you did was you rounded your back and you put your stick down. So I'm trying to help you to re-educate yourself so that you do not do that. Don't round your back in order to go forward. What do you want to do? You want to hip hinge. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my toe into this pad or pillow, whatever you've got there that's spongy, and then I'm going to put my heel down. And then I'm going to put my toe down, and I'm going to press into those splayed toes. So I'm going to open those toes out and push down. It should not hurt because you should be doing this on a pillow, okay? And then I go into the heel. I only do one leg at a time. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to open, brace, drop my shoulders, bring this leg up, pull it in tight. So I'm going toe, heel, press, toe, heel, press, and around and around and around and around. And then I'm going to come back in and come back in and go forward. So my feet are on the pillow. I'm combing forward. I'm going to reach my hand right down to the inside of my ankle here. Turn and reach up. Okay? Keep my chin tucked. Reach up. Soften my elbow if I need to. If I feel anything in my shoulder getting tight, then I bring it down just like that. But I'm opening, opening, opening. You should feel this stretch in your groin and up and through your pectorals, your chest, and the groin right through here, okay? And then I come back and I come back, okay? Big breath, because I'm fixing to go on to this other side, all right? So I'm right here in this position. So I'm going to go back, okay? So I'm going to go the other side in just a second. I'm going to go back. This toe goes open the toes and then put the heel down. So see, I'm going to go back and forth like that while I lean back grab, toe, heel, reach, 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 shoulders down, reach, 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 breath, 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 toe, heel, push, push, couple more, bring it back in and back in. So now I'm down here, I'm gonna take this hand, put it on the inside where my ankle is right here. I'm gonna turn and bring the hand up while I'm pushing my elbow against that front leg, the opposite front leg. And I'm looking and I'm reaching, looking and reaching, looking and reaching, looking and reaching, looking and reaching. Hold, hold, breath. Then come down slowly and come right here. Okay. Some of you who were with me on Monday got a little sore on your quad because we worked really hard on them. So I'm telling you, don't hit the slopes unless you put some training like that in your back pocket, okay? So see what I'm doing right now? I'm inching myself to the side of the chair. I'm going to hang on to this side of the chair. I'm just simply going to bring my knee down. And then I'm going to put my shoelaces or the top of my foot flat on the floor if I can. And I'm sitting to the front of the chair and I'm going to just rotate back. See that? My tummy's tight. I'm just going to rotate back, keep my chin down. And this is where you should feel a nice stretch right here. And it just helps with your mobility. It helps balance out your muscles that are sore. And you may find they're still just a little bit sore. And if they are, well, yeah, you work pretty hard then. Okay, I'll show you some of those very moves on Friday that got you so sore. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the other side. See how I'm doing that? And I'm going to the front of my chair so that I can open back. But I'm not going to open back until after I put my knee down. I'm heading down with that knee. The tops of my feet are flat on the floor, or as flat as they can be on the floor. Okay? So I'm down here and I'm going to open back, and I'm getting a nice stretch coming right up through the quad there. Okay? So that's my goal, is to stretch through that front leg muscle. All right? And a lot of times you'll see this, you'll see people out on the sports field and they'll grab their ankle and pull it up, you know, way up over their shoulder. Not necessary, but just giving it a nice stretch is a very good thing to do because you're opening up your front leg muscles. And when you do it from the chair here, it gives you safety mechanisms there so that you don't get overstretched or you don't overdo. All right, take a big deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. So do a little experiment. And until I tell you in through the nose, out through the mouth, so if you're just breathing like normal and you breathe a big breath, typically I'll see people lift their shoulders. I do it. But when I say keep your shoulders down, breathe in through the nose, I don't even have to tell you. If you breathe in through the nose, you typically are going to do diaphragmatic breathing. It's a very good thing to train yourself to do. Okay? So now I'm going to come like this. My goal is for people that come in on a regular basis to be able to get up and down off a chair, off of other things that are very necessary without help. See? And we get up. And that's my goal, is to give you much greater mobility through functional moves. So I hope everybody got that today. Good job.